Hello guys, my name is Kumgundaliz and I'm here at Accra, the capital city of Nigeria. I want to tell you the story of the death of Baba Simeo Melkio. Welcome. Lastly, we were at chapter 2, but I switched a little to show you chapter 6, the death of Baba Simeo Melkio. We want to start with chapter 6, session 1, Baba Simeo Melkio's Mausoleum. In 1975, Baba Messia launched a project to construct a fitting mausoleum for himself at the bottom of the Kalfari Hill, next to the house he was occupied before the hill was destroyed by government forces in 1964. He requested of his followers to contribute 5 shillings each for the project and assigned Jacom Onyango Kabasa, based in Nairobi, to oversee the construction, assisted by Deacon Morris Akelo and Elias Otono. This was a clear signal that Baba Simeo Melkio anticipated to die someday. However, his followers did not take him seriously, and the project stalled until after his death in 1991. By the time Baba Simeo Melkio died, only foundation trenches for the proposed mausoleum had been dug out. Pope Timotheo, together with the funeral committee, cemented Baba Simeo Melkio grave and erected temporary shelter made of timber and corrugated iron sheet to shield the cement grave from vagaries of weather. The Pope requested for fresh donations of funds and materials to build the mausoleum, and there was positive response from the Christians. The foundation was built, but the project was far from completion when Timotheo died in 1998. When Chiaji took over as Pope, the momentum to complete the mausoleum somewhat slacked. However, when Adika took the mantle of office in 2004, he identified an architect to study the building plans and recommended a way forward. The architect recommended that mausoleum best be enlarged to be able to support the weight of first floor. Adika therefore enlarged the mausoleum foundation and built the ground floor. He also renovated and modernized the original grass-thatched Nyumba ya Baba near the mausoleum. Because of the church wrangles and revivals that followed when Romanus Ogombe declared himself Pope in 2009, Adika was unable to access Got Kalifari, and Ogombe assumed responsibility to complete the mausoleum. He conducted several high-profile harambes that were supported by Nyanza members of parliament and received donations of building materials, but to date, the construction of the mausoleum is still far from completion. Thank you. Welcome again back. That was chapter 6, session 1. Let us now move to chapter 6, session 1, Roman 1. Baba Simeo Melkio talks about his own death. Baba Simeo Melkio predicted his death on many occasions. Early in his ministry, on 18th July 1967, at Jerusalem Amoyo, he said, "My spirit is afraid that I can easily go at any time." But his followers did not comprehend what he was talking about. In Mombasa on 31st October 1972, at the house of Samson Emonde at 11:40 p.m., On a Tuesday, Baba Messia repeated prophesying his death and said, I see, I will soon go back to where I come from. The most direct prophecy about his death was at St. Petro Manyata in Kisumu on 20th June 1991 at 9:35 p.m. He predicted that his death would bring shock to many, and particularly those close to him, who entirely depended on him for their basic needs. He went further to state that many leaders around him frustrated his effort because they were only interested in his earthly materials belonging and looking forward to his departure before they shared such belongings. Baba Messia once again foretold his death at Raphael Onyango House in Nyalenda, Kisumu on 17th April 1991 between 5:45 and 7:38 p.m. By first reflecting on his imminent death and drawing parallels with the agony of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, I see that my days are gone, and I can shock you at any time now. When they wanted to kill Jesus, his blood was in shock. Likewise, I feel that my days are finished and I can die. They beat me and hurt my chest, and since then I see a shadow of my death as I walk or sleep. He went further to predict that his money, church robes and vestments and other belongings will be taken and shared among those who lacked around him. He also prophesied that those who depended on him entirely, especially the men, will be neglected and left to suffer after his death. In June 1991, when visiting Elisha Chotai, an Indian Legion Maria family based in Kakamega, Baba Messia told his audience, I am old now and my days are finished. I will go back to the soil as a second time. This year is a year of tears and sadness. Although you see me eat with you, we should pray hard because God can take us anytime He wishes. Baba Messia died at Manyata Church, Kisumu, under clear circumstances on the evening of 5th September 1991, after cutting short his visit to St. Abraham Barding Church in Siaya County. Thank you. Let's continue in chapter 6, session 2, Betrayal of Baba Simeon Melchior. On 11th November 1989, at St. Petro Manyata, Kisumu, Baba hinted about an imminent betrayal and death. He told followers that he was surprised that despite taking an active role in the fight for Kenya independence, it appeared that the KANU government was now ready to collude with some individuals to betray him. At first, I was taken to Kapenguria, Shimo, Tulewa, Latewa, Migori, Homa Bay, Ukwala. I was fighting for Legion Maria's freedom at Kapenguria. We were jailed with Jomo Kenyatta when we were fighting for our country independence. But I'm surprised because the KANU government now wants me killed, but that is not unexpected or bad because it is written so. Women and men have agreed to betray the Son of Man. I have requested Bikira Maria Mtakatifu to end my life, but she had not accepted. She says I should stay for 2 more years, but it is possible she may add me more years. while in Jerusalem, Amoyo, on 11th November 1990, during the festive feast of All Saints. Baba Messia told his close aides, "My death will be executed by women who will poison me." He did not elaborate. After the feast, Baba Messia set off to go to Zoia Efeso for Christmas festival in 1990. On a Sunday during a stopover in Migori town, he repeated the same prophecy regarding women poisoning him. This time, however, he added that the government will be involved in the plot. Baba Simeon Melchior strongly condemned his betrayals on 19th June in Webuye at the home of Dr. Nicholas Care. He identified one of the church administrators and called him a traitor. However, on this particular occasion, Baba Messia was referring to the fact that the administrator who had been mandated by the church to purchase an Isuzu Trooper vehicle from Raisi Motors had declared to hand over a logbook to headquarters. According to an eyewitness, while at St. Abraham and Sarah Barding between 25th August and 2nd September 1991, Baba Messia summoned 4 of his female house helps and informed them that one of them will poison him. The house helps was startled and started suspecting each other, the same way the apostle did before Jesus named Judas Iscariot as the traitor during the Last Supper in Jerusalem. While at St. Pedro Manyata in Kisumu on 8th August 1991, it is claimed that a Legion Maria leader, accompanied by a group of friends, paid a courtesy call on Baba Messia and requested to be briefed about Baba Messia association with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Baba Messia's answer was, "I neither adore Oginga nor President Daniel Arap Moi. I only adore God Almighty." At Nyalenda Church in Kisumu, Baba Messia informed his listener that some Legion Maria leaders were unhappy with him and had teamed up with government's agent to frustrate him. One leader is also alleged to have faced Baba Messia at Manyata Church and bragged that he was like a dangerous leopard that was ready to pounce and cause great harm. After Baba Messia's death and because of the numerous betrayal prophecies, there were widespread allegations from some Legion Maria followers to the effect that some high-ranking state official working in liaison with foreign agents possibly inducted senior churches officials to betray and poison Baba Simeon Melchior with the help of his close house helps. Because of such sensitive talk, Pope Timotheo Attila appointed a commission of inquiry into Baba Messia's death, but the findings were not made public. The reason for Baba Messia's betrayal was not clear. About some followers urged that it was meant to hurt Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who was perceived to be an erstwhile friend and confidant at Baba Messia. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. Now we are at Baba's chapter 6, session 2, Roman 1. Baba Simeon Melchior last visit to Western Province. Baba Messia visited Kakamega and Bungoma counties of Western Province between May and July 1991. He made stopovers at Kakamega Municipality, Sango Settlement Scheme in Lugari constituency, and St. Juliana, Webuye. During the visit to Webuye, he appointed Dr. Nicholas Kerr as chairman general or Jacom of Legion Maria of African Church Mission. When he left the home of Dr. Kerr in Webuye on 22nd June 1991, after a 3-week stay, he proceeded to Kisumu after a stopover in Kakamega Municipality. From Webuye, Baba Simeon Melkio's stay in Kakamega was as follows. He stayed at St. Noah Konyero Church for 4 days before he moved to Julius Oluchiri's home in Amalemba Estate for a further 2 days. He then proceeded to the home of a Mhindi businessman called Elisha Chotai in Milimani Estate for the final 5 days. In most of his sermons to his followers during this period, Baba Simeon Melkio talked in parables mainly on how human beings are made of soil, and that when they die, their body rot and return to the soil. The audience did not understand at that time that he was talking about his own imminent death. Thank you. Welcome back. Now we are at chapter 6, session 2, Roman 2. Baba Simeon Melkio's last days in Kisumu. From Western Province, Baba Messia returned to St. Pedro Manyata Legion Maria Church in Kisumu and skipped the annual Apostolic Council meeting that was scheduled to take place on 31st July at Jerusalem, Amoy. From Manyata, he made daytime brief visit to Nyalenda and Obunga churches in Kisumu, and the theme of these sermons continued to center on imminent death and its aftermath. Thank you. Welcome. Now we are at chapter 6, session 2, Roman 3. Baba Simeon Melkio, fatigued during Feast of Assumption. While attending the Feast of Assumption of Mary at Cordero Church on 15th August 1991, Baba Messia appeared tired and had to be driven from his house within the church compound to address a congregation which was but a few meters away. His last sermon at Cordero dwelt at length on his imminent death, but his followers did not take him seriously because they did not believe that he would die. He reminded his listeners that Jesus was crucified on the cross, died and was buried, but on the third day he rose again from the dead and ascended to heaven. He went further to say that in his case he will not rise from the dead, but his body will remain buried in Africa. He advised Legion Maria followers to guard the body jealously and ensure that nobody brings about unnecessary controversies during his burial. Baba Messia left Cordero on 23rd August 1991 and made a one-night stopover at the house of Sister Jennifer Ogot and her husband Andashias Lango of Nyamasaria, near Kisumu. He proceeded to St. Abraham and Sarah, Barding in Siaya County on 24th August 1991. On arrival at Barding, the same evening, Baba Messia prayed with a loud voice, denouncing the devil that was responsible for his imminent death, and added, "Let God will be done." According to close aides, Baba Messia looked fatigued throughout his stay at Barding. Thank you. Welcome back. We are now at chapter 6, Session 2, Roman 4. Baba Simeon Melchior at Barding in Siaya County. On 25th August 1991, in the morning hours, Baba Messia instructed Petro Sewe, one of his aides, to write a letter to Pancras Odero, Archbishop of Migori, instructing him to clean up and prepare the mausoleum site at Got Kalifari, because his days had come to an end. Asked by one of his aides where he would be buried if he died, Baba Messia informed him that he will be symbolically buried 3 times to represent the 3 persons in one Godhead. Twice at Jerusalem Amoyo and once at Got Kalifari. Later that Sunday, during his sermon to his followers, Baba Messia handed over his fimbo or staff symbolizing power to Cardinal Dean Lawrence Chiaji. Since Pope Timothy was not present at Barding at that time, Chiaji did not appear to grasp the symbolic value of the fimbo, and when he stood to go, he left it behind. Ciprosa, one of the house help, picked the fimbo and put it in safe custody under his personal care. At 10 a.m. on 25th August 1991, an old man dressed in complete Maasai traditional regalia, accompanied by his son, daughter, and 2 other people, visited Baba Messia at Barding. The visitors were ushered in by Maria Respa Awino, one of his house help. Baba Messia talked to the visitors animatedly, mostly in Maasai language. The purpose of the visit was to enable the family to give thanks to Baba Messia for a cow he had given them in earlier days. The Maasai elder talked about a past miracle Baba Messia had performed in Maasai land in the 1950s. He said that Baba Messia, in the company of Maasai friend, molded a toy clay cow, but after Baba Messia left, the toy became a real cow which the Maasai elders kept among other cows. The cow had lived extraordinarily long and was now very old, having calved down many times. Baba Messia confirmed the story and was happy to receive the visitors. He, however, informed the Maasai elder that the old cow will die on 15th September 1991 in hindsight. It is Baba Simeon Melchior who died in Kisumu on this date, and those present during the discussion did not grasp the significance of the visit. There was drama when one of the house helps mistakenly broke and used the Maasai elder's rungu, short stick with the round-headed, as firewood. The Maasai elder made great fuss until he was given a similar Legion Maria rungu as replacement. On 28 August 1991, Baba Messia went to Siaya town for major shopping of household items, including blankets, mattresses, and paraffin lamps, among others. And the items were sent to Jerusalem Amoyo for safe custody at Legion Maria's main office. He explained that he would soon go back to Jerusalem Amoyo and would receive many visitors. He would require the household item purchased. His last official function at Barding was on Sunday, 1st September 1991. Thank you. Welcome back. Now we are at chapter 6, session 3. Baba Simeon Melchior dies at Manyata. On Monday 22nd September 1991, Baba Messia left Barding at 9:45 p.m. and returned to Manyata Church in Kisumu. He told his aides that he would stay at Manyata for 2 days and then proceed to Jerusalem, Amoyo in Migori. On arrival at Manyata, there was a tussle between two of Baba Messiah's senior house helps, Justina Adhiambo and Ciprosa Adhiambo, regarding where Baba Messia would stay while at Manyata. He opted to stay at the house under the care of Justina because she was comparatively more senior than Ciprosa. He, however, first entered the house under the care of Ciprosa for a cup of tea and later at 11 p.m. went to Justina's house, escorted by his aides Dalmas Oyer, Alois Mbalo, Petre Sewe, Benedicto Kea, and Musa Ategu. On 3rd September 1991, there was a ceremony to bless Baba Simeon Melchior newly constructed house at Manyata, and a sheep was slaughtered to provide meat for the occasion. Baba Messia, however, remained indoors throughout his stay at Manyata. On Thursday, 5th September 1991, Baba Messia took his evening meal at 6:30 and immediately stared with writhing in intense pain. As a result, he told those present, "I am dying, but take me to Jerusalem." Cardinal Dean Lawrence Chiaji then celebrated Mass as all their recovery. All the other followers prayed in groups for Baba Messiah's prayed recovery. Apart from Chiaji, other high-ranking leaders present at Manyata including Elias Komenya, Simbiti, and Alfred Anthony Oria. Baba Messia died at approximately 9:45 p.m. Morning in Jerusalem. As per instructions. Thank you. Welcome. Oh my God. We are now at chapter 6, session 3, Roman 1. Morning in Jerusalem. As per instructions, his body was put into an Isuzu trooper and transported to Jerusalem Amoyo the same night. Passengers in the trooper driven by Paul Kitili were Lawrence Chiaji, Ciprosa Adhiambo, Elizabeth Akinyi, Petro Sewe, Maria Respa Awino, Alois Mbalo, and Benedict Kea. There was a second Datsun vehicle driven by Morris Koteko, also full of passengers. The two vehicles were driven in convoy and took the Katiko Homa Bay Rongo Road to Migori, and the vehicle reached Migori at 2 a.m. Pope Attila, who was at Got Kalifari at the time, was alerted, and the funeral convoy reached Jerusalem at 3:30 a.m. on 6th September. The body started to swell and go bad, and this is when people became convinced that Baba Messia was indeed dead. Between 7th and 8 p.m., many mourners from all over Eastern Africa thronged Jerusalem Amoyo as a result of wide media coverage of the event. Thank you. Welcome. Now we are at chapter 6, session 3, Roman 2. Controversy of a burial site. The body was laid at the veranda of Baba Simeon Melchior's residence as leaders frantically searched for a coffin. Deacon Morris Akelo obtained a locally made coffin from nearby Otho Market, but it was of poor quality. Japuonj Dr. Michael Oduor, Jacom Martin Odongo, and Jacom Raphael Onyango brought a better coffin from Kisumu, and the body was placed in it. When the body started to swell further, it became apparent that the coffin was not roomy enough. Meanwhile, Archbishop Elias Komenya, Isabella, and Absalom Onyango, an advocate based in Kisumu, embarked on acquiring a more fitting glass coffin on wheels. There emerged two conflicting spiritual messages regarding Baba Messia place of burial. One message recommending Jerusalem Amoyo, while the other recommending Got Kalifari. Some people supported burial at Jerusalem Amoyo, while others supported burial at Got Kalifari. Pope Timotheo then referred to Baba Messia written will which stated that burial will take place at Got Kalifari. On 11 September 1991, a group of top Legion Maria leaders led by Cardinal Dean Lawrence Chiaji and Cardinal Johannes Muga Odiwa, among others, hurriedly buried Baba Messia body at dusk without involving Pope Timotheo and the many mourners who were gathered at Jerusalem Amoyo at the time. The burial was conducted by Father Tin with the support of Councillor Olela and other local leaders, and the grave was hurriedly cemented. The Pope was unhappy with this turn of events but looked helpless. With advice from some leaders, the Pope sought assistance from Archbishop Stephen Ondiek, MP for Ugenya and Assistant Minister for Cooperatives, and 5 armed administrative police officers were brought to Jerusalem Amoy from the DOS office at Nyatike at 3 a.m. On arrival at the church, the Askaris fired warning shots in the air and ordered that Baba Messia body be exhumed immediately by those who performed the secret burial ceremony, and this was done at gunpoint. The first coffin brought by Deacon Morris Akelo was later lowered into the empty grave left at Jerusalem Amoy. After body exhumption and the grave recement, Baba Simeo Melkia bodies was put into a Land Rover which was provided by Archbishop Stephen Ondiek and supported to Got Kalifari and a heavy police guard. This fulfilled an earlier prophecy Baba Messia made at Got Quer in 1964 during his arrest. As you forcefully removed me from Got Quer at gunpoint, so will return me to his underguard. Baba Messia had also prophesied the controversy that would ensue over the body after death on 11 November 1989. At St. Petro Manyata, Kisumu, he told his followers, there will be a fierce war over my body, and the body will start to go bad, while leaders will be still fighting for high positions and my money. Thank you. Now we are at chapter 6, session 3, Roman 3, burial at Got Kalifari. The body was taken to Got Kalifari in the early hours of 12 September 1991 and lay in State Unit Burial Day in 14 September 1991. On 12 September 1991, a new monk's elaborate glass coffin made in Kisumu was brought to Got Kalifari by Archbishop Elias Komenya, and the body was transferred to the new coffin. Throughout this period, there was heavily police presence at Got Kalifari. Pope Timotheo presided over the burial ceremonies, which were attended by thousands of people and were widely covered by the print and electronic media. Pope Attila therefore moved from Jerusalem Amoyo and started to reside permanently at Got Kalifari. The funeral itself was generally calm except during the speeches, when Wilson Owino Obimbo claimed that Baba Messia was his young brother born in 1926, and demanded to inherit Baba Messia material property. Owino further demanded that the headquarters of Legion Maria be transferred from God Califare to St. Simeo Melchio Silita Angoro near Awasi, but he was jeered by the mourners present. In chapter 6, session 4, did Baba Simeo Melchio arise from the dead? In a major sermon to his followers during the feast of the Assumption of Mary on 15th August 1991, 3 weeks before his death, Baba Messia referred to his imminent death and the resurrection of the body in the following terms. Jesus was crucified on the cross, died and was buried, but on the third day he rose again from the dead. He explained that in this case the body will not rise from the dead, but will remain in Africa. He hoped that Africans will preserve and guard the body to avoid the need for its being assumed by the government for proper burial elsewhere. This was the reason he had advocated for building a mausoleum at God Califare well in advance. Despite this explanation, some Legion Maria followers claim that they encountered Baba Messia after his death, and some of the reported incidences include the following. Thank you. We are now at chapter 6, session 4, Roman 1, Marita and her grandchildren. At Bumasopo in Mbale, Uganda, Marita, an elderly but pious and righteous woman, was continually rebuked by her grandchildren for adoring a black god. The children, who were members of the Anglican Church, did not comprehend to approve their grandmother's ways of worship. In December 1991, 3 months after Baba Messiah's death, the grandchildren went, as was customary routine, to check on Marita, but saw a vision of someone sitting still at the veranda of the house. On closer examination, they realized that the person resembled the photograph of Baba Messia, which was prominently displayed at Marita's altar in her sitting room. The children called Marita to see the person at the veranda, but she told them that she could not see anyone. However, Marita's grandchildren continued to see this person quietly seated on the veranda for the next 3 days. Because of the strange episode, the children did not ever again dare to dispute Marita and her black god. Mama Marita died in 1999, aged approximately 100 years. Thank you. Now we are at chapter 6, session 4, Roman 2. First anniversary following Baba's Messiah's death. During the first anniversary of Baba Messia burial at God Califare on 14th September 1992 at 8 p.m., some Legion Maria followers claimed they saw Baba Messia talking to Pope Timotheo and other church leaders who had been summoned by the Holy Spirit to assemble next to the mausoleum site. They claimed that he told them that he had arisen from the dead a day after burial. Some of the followers who witnessed this event strongly believed that the person that talked to Timotheo was indeed Baba Simeo Melchio himself. Other witnesses present, however, explained that it was Baba Simeo Melchio's voice that came through an Abi priest known as Paul Onyango, who hailed from Nyakech, Kisumu, but was at this time based in Mbogoma County. Thank you. Let us head to chapter 6, session 4, Roman 3. And we are almost to finish chapter 6. Salome Akoth released from prison. Other signs of resurrection were manifested in 1992 through a woman called Salome Akoth, who was attending a Lang'ata court in Nairobi to answer charges related to drug peddling. Baba Simeon Melkio is said to have taken a form of an old man who articulately interceded for Salome during the court proceedings leading to her release or leaving court. The old man vanished, and Salome, a non-Legion Maria at that time, was in total confusion and panic and sought prayers. She was held to St. Johannes Legion Maria of African Church Mission at Kariobangi in Nairobi, where she was prayed for by Bishop Silvanus Olo at Legion Maria Church. Salome then proceeded to Got Kalifari in South Nyanza to report the incident to Pope Timotheo and seek further guidance. Let's move to chapter 6, session 5. Church shaken badly after Baba Simeon Melkio's death. In Roman 1, challenges faced by dependents. Baba Simeon Melkio had informed close followers about the events that will unfold following his death. He took pity on those close and wholly dependent on him. He predicted that the boys and men would be chased away by Legion Maria leaders and left to suffer in the cold, while some of the girls and young women dependents would be forced by circumstances to become house helps and concubines. He requested the deacons and acolytes to record any items that might be taken away from the church and urged them to perceive and remain calm when these things happen. Do not run away from me, even though I will be dead. The money box will be snatched away and bank account closed, and there will be misuse of offertory money. The orphans, widows, school-going children, and the old people will be ignored to left to suffer greatly. As soon as Baba Messia died, close aides were ordered to hand over whatever church documents they had in their possession. Due to food insecurity and extreme poverty, at major churches, most young dependents relocated to other churches for their own survival. The older people at the churches took to hawking and small-time businesses, and all the things that Baba Simeon Messia had foretold came to pass. Life was difficult, and the young men had to do manual jobs including weeding crops in people's shambas and prospecting for gold at Masaria gold mines. In the neighboring, some of the girls left the churches to get married, while others, females dependents, returned to their homes. Life became even worse for the dependents when Lawrence Pius Chiagi took over as Pope in 1998. To date, only about half of Baba Messia original dependents still reside at the churches. Let's move to chapter 6, session 5, Roman 2. And this is the end of chapter 6, Hostiles and Divisions. Baba Messia had predicted that after his death, Legion Maria movement will experience strife and leaders will engage in fierce power struggles through court battles, and this will place followers into 2 or 3 opposing camps. 2 bulls will fight the Pope, and this will scatter some of the followers. They will file court cases against the Pope, but God will ensure that they fail. One of the bulls will entirely pretend to be friendly to the Pope, but later drop a bombshell to scatter followers a second time into 2 groups, one to the east and the other to the west of the lake. Followers will fight among themselves, and tribalism will be practiced from top to bottom through the rank and file. All that was prophesied has come to pass, and Legion Maria followers greatly yearn for peace. Baba Messia had also predicted that the clergy and ordinary Christians will despise each other and fight, but God will eventually end their wrangles. Legion Maria will be divided into many groups, and Christians will fight priests, bishops, and cardinals for money and women. After all the strife, I will intervene and weed out evil leaders. He requested his followers to pray hard to enable Pope Timothy Attila's reign to exceed 5 years, since Attila will be surrounded by many enemies. If Attila ruled for less than 5 years, whose calamities will befall all those that are evil. The Christian prayed hard as advised, and Attila's reign lasted over 7 years. Baba Messia affirmed that Legion Maria was strongly linked to the Kenya government since independence in 1963. He elaborated that when the government became unstable for whatever reason, Legion Maria followers had the ability through prayer to end government instability. Similarly, when Legion Maria became engrossed in deep wrangles and divisions, the government had the ability through courts and other means of law enforcement to initiative and end such wrangles. Legion Maria had been embroiled in deep divisions and wrangles for a period of over 20 years since Baba Messiah's death, and it's widely expected that peace will soon be restored in this movement. Thank you and have a day of your choice.